Hey copper nerds, it's easy to appreciate high-grade coins, but how do you go about appreciating the really ugly ones? For most of us, we can't collect nothing but high-grade early dates. So if you're an early date collector or you're collecting copper coins on a budget in general, how do you appreciate those ugly coins? Let's get into it. For all of the reasons that I've told you that I like early date large cents, those are going to be the same reasons that it's easy to appreciate those same coins, even if they're in lower grades or ugly. Let's just take a look at a few of these. Really, everything that's on the desktop here was between 200 and 350 bucks. So this stuff's all in the same price range, be it a lustrous MS62 cacked 1851 large cent. I mean, great coin, CAC sticker, old holder. This is a wonderful coin. On the same budget, you can get something like this, or something like this one. I open these capsules up so often that they're getting a little bit ragged on the edges, but these airtight capsules do hold up pretty well. I've noted a few times before, but this is not the way most EAC folks store their copper coins. They usually use envelopes and cotton liners. So while I'm busting these out, what am I talking about appreciating a coin even when it's ugly? There's a lot of things about a coin to appreciate. We don't only collect them for their pristine surfaces, we also collect them because of what they are, what they represent historically, and then some of the unique and interesting features of the individual coins or of the individual varieties and the die states of those varieties. Such a nerdy hobby, right? When we really get to talking about the minutia. But here we are. They're all cracked out. How do I appreciate these ugly coins? All right, let's talk about them one by one. This Sheldon 21, hideous coin. If you've seen my video about it, you see that I did do a little bit of touch up on it because it had some fresh scuffs and copper showing through its black patina. This one I appreciate because it's got blundered edge letters. This one on our edge says, where's the beginning? 1 D 100 4 A double D double O double L dollar. That's what I appreciate about this coin. Sure, it's not a beautiful coin, but I appreciate it nonetheless as part of my collection, and it's an important part of my collection, and it's one of my favorite coins in my collection, even though it's hideous, because I appreciate it for something other than its aesthetic appeal. This Sheldon 32, I appreciate it for the very late die state reverse. It's got a massive crack through the essence states. It's the latest die state available on a 32, which is one of my favorite varieties. I appreciate this coin not for its beautiful depiction of liberty and perfect surfaces. I appreciate it for its late die state. This one is on an ultra thick unlettered edge wedge shaped planchet. This coin is crazy rare. It's nothing nice to look at, but I appreciate it for that unique feature. This one, 26, again, late die state on the reverse. Sure, the surfaces aren't great and the obverse is not a lot to look at, but on the reverse, you can see that very late die state progression. That's what I appreciate about this coin. This Sheldon 62 is in the second die state and has that massive cud on it. Sure, again, surfaces awful. There's not much to look at that's pleasing on this coin, but that cud is a very cool diagnostic marker. I appreciate that about this coin. This one's got a bunch of damage. It was affordable. There's a ton of detail on the obverse and reverse for what I paid for the coin. It was not an expensive coin. There's plenty of damage, but if I wanted one with no damage, I'd have a lot less detail remaining at that price point. That's what I appreciate about this coin. This one is a Sheldon 49. It's in a late die state. It's got the crack going through the E in Liberty. Someone punched the date over top of it. I got this one for like 180 bucks, as I recall. I appreciate it because it's got a nice reverse. It really shows off the diagnostics of the closed wreath reverse X. And the obverse has really strong detail and a pleasing depiction of liberty if you ignore those stamps at the bottom, which I easily do. That's why I appreciate this coin. And last, we've got the Sheldon 45. Very rare variety. Again, not much to look at, but it's got the very cool diagnostic die chip inside of the left ribbon bow. That's what I appreciate about this coin. So, not a lot more I have to say about this topic other than if you're collecting early date copper large cents, they are expensive. And if you're doing it on a budget, you're gonna get some ugly coins. That's not to say that you shouldn't strive to collect some ugly rare coins that have some cool diagnostics, some cool markers that are within your budget. Not all of us can drop $3, $5, $10, $20, $40,000 on a nice example of a coin. If you're spending $200, $300, or $400, expect to see stuff like this, but also don't buy them if you can't appreciate them for what they are. Save up a little bit longer or get later dates that you can afford in high grade. But if you are an early date collector like I am, sometimes you just gotta learn to appreciate the ugly coins for what it is that they offer to your collection and the history that they represent. Let's go with that. Let's talk about it a little bit in the comments. Thank you for checking out this video. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.